Welcome to Spam Filter for Your Brain. My name's Anna, heard in London, and I'm here to try and help people find creative solutions to reconnect to their bodies and their minds. And I don't believe that we should just magically know all of this stuff about our emotions and our lives and our well-being if no one ever teaches us. So let's try and learn this stuff together. 'Tis the time of year where people-pleasing comes to the fore. There is so much obligation this time of year from work, colleagues, friends, family, so many different angles that everybody else has a very clear expectation of what everybody else should do that may well not align with what you want to do. So this Christmas, I have a little dare for you, and that dare is to put yourself on the list. It is to center your own needs and to make sure that you, even if it's only you, are looking after your own well-being. So what is it that you're going to need to take you through this period to make sure that you feel safe, looked after, heard, loved, respected, and what could make it joyful for you? I think quite often we are put into situations, especially people who are socialised as women, we come across situations where we can believe that if we do enough things and we behave in a certain way, we are nice enough, that we put everybody else first, that we don't consider our own needs, that other people will think a particular way about us. They might think that we are nice, obliging, kind, all of the niceties that people who are socialised as women are often taught is the object of our respect in society, and often historically has been the way that it has kept us safe within any kind of social dynamic. And I invite you this year to look at ways that you ignore your own needs and ignore your body's needs, ignore your rest needs, ignore your emotional well-being needs to prioritise somebody else's. Because if you are not looking after yourself, there will be less of you to go pleasing those other people in the first place. But most importantly, when we cut through all of this hoping that us behaving in a particular way can make another person feel a particular thing, I'd really like you to look at the reality of what people-pleasing is. Sadly, people-pleasing is not the flex that we think that it is. Because people-pleasing is going out of our way to try and manipulate how another person feels about us by doing things that we quite often don't want to do. It's stretching ourselves beyond our limits, beyond our measures, to try and really make sure that someone else thinks we are incredibly kind, we're incredibly generous, we are incredibly gracious, whatever it is that we're hoping someone else to think about us. We're trying to make them think that by doing something that we don't want to do. And this behaviour can come out so prevalently at Christmas. And it can mean that at the end of the holidays, quite often you're left needing a holiday. And that doesn't have to be the case if you put yourself on the list. If you look after your own well-being, if within any dynamic or any circumstances, if it starts to feel a bit scratchy or a bit uncomfortable, just check in with yourself and see where you're not having your own back, where you're not looking after your own well-being, where you haven't prioritised or even asked yourself what you need here. This is the best gift that I believe that you could give yourself this Christmas. That feeling of safety and that feeling of well-being is what gives us space to feel joy at this season. And without looking after yourself, joy is not centred. And this is what I wish for you to have a peaceful, joyful time where you listen to yourself and you are definitely top of your own Christmas list. I hope that you managed to survive through this week with loads of self-care, and I look forward to seeing you next week. If you're enjoying what you're hearing on the podcast here, I would love to invite you to Self-Care School. Self-Care School is a membership site where we have group coaching calls every week. We have a whole load of courses that you can dip into for whatever suits your needs. We have courses on confidence, body image, timekeeping, how to manage big emotions, overwhelm, loads and loads of stuff in there. You can kind of pick out whatever you want to work on. There is a big library of workbooks, which includes journal prompts and questions for you to be able to apply this work to your own life. And we have the most amazing community where people support each other, we learn from each other, and you get to work alongside people with quite often very different life situations to your own, and we learn so much together in community. If you would like some more of this, please do hop over to selfcareschool.co.uk.